Welcome back to the second half of NEWSBREAK Live. Susan Swinburne, Executive Director of the Torrance Education Foundation, joins me live. Thanks so much for being with me tonight.
I'm happy to be here.
And the Torrance Education Foundation has done so much to support the students and teachers across the Torrance Unified School District that is made up of nearly 30 schools. And this month, the City of Torrance is dedicating November to the foundation. What does that mean for your team?
We were thrilled. The City Council and also the Board of Education proclaimed the month of November as Torrance Education Foundation Month. And it is an opportunity for us to get the word out to the population about what the foundation is here to do, and also to kind of give a boost to our fall fundraising, which is underway right now.
And you're also looking for members?
Always looking for members. We're here to support the schools and the kids and the families in the City of Torrance, and we kind of feel like that's something that's good for everybody. So we invite everyone in the community to consider becoming a member and helping us make sure our schools have all the sources of funding that they need for special projects.
And tell me what TF's mission is.
Our mission is to enrich the educational experience of students in our schools. It's a partnership between us and the school district and the community at large, but our goal really is to make sure that our students and our teachers have extra resources that might not be available from the regular state education funding that comes down from the state of California. There's never enough funds coming in through state systems, and we aim to bring our community together and make sure that more funds are available so that great things can continue to happen for the kids.
And many of the goals the Torrance Education Foundation chooses has to do with the priorities of the school district, where STEM right now is a very big deal for your foundation. So tell me about how the STEM program and after-school activities kind of came about.
Well, STEM is a really key focus of Torrance Unified right now. It's, among other things, been proven in recent years to be a really key indicator for success when kids come through high school and graduate and either look for jobs or go on to study in college. STEM subjects more and more are a key thing to be excelling in if you expect to have a really good outcome in college. Not all the time, but many jobs in the future will be focused around STEM disciplines. So we're focusing our strong efforts on making sure that funds exist to give students extracurricular support and experience in STEM. STEM, for anyone who might not know, stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And there's an awful lot to be done for kids who want to get experience in those disciplines that might not take place in the classroom.
And for the past 3 years, the foundation has been able to donate quite a bit of grant money to teachers right here in Torrance. And this year, you really pushed the goals, and many teachers received a lot of great grant money.
That's right. We launched our STEM initiative for STEM grant funding directly to teachers at schools 3 years ago. At the time, there were only 8 of projects throughout the district that really qualify as the kind of thing that we hoped to increase. And so we started in 2014 with our first year and granted about 20 teachers with funds. This year, that has more than doubled. We're up to 48. In particular, the Family STEM Nights started out 3 years ago with only 4. This year we have 18. So that, in addition to all the other programs that we're supporting through this effort, are really making great experiences happen for kids at all levels, elementary, middle school, and high school.
What are a few of the 48 projects for the 2016-2017 school year?
Well, as I said, Family STEM Night has grown astronomically. That takes place on campuses after school, and it basically revolves around the students and the teachers coming together to create experiments and experiences about how you learn about science. And families come to see what their kids are doing, and kids get introduced to new types of projects and new principles that have to do with the STEM disciplines. We also support robotics at both the middle school and the high school level. In fact, the youngest kids who study robotics, they begin in the 4th grade, and then it goes on from there with competitions and building the actual working robots, and also programming them with their computers so that they function in an arena setting. Ultimately, they're going to a competition where their robot's going to compete with another robot to complete tasks, and it gets very exciting.
And there are two projects this year, cyber coding, which is very important for the future. Tell me a little bit about the partnership that you have currently.
Yeah, that was a very exciting thing. Last year, the Air Force Association approached us asking if we would be willing to partner with them to introduce this Cyber Patriot program. They have determined that it's a long road to becoming a really adept cyber programmer, and they know that our country is going to need more adept programmers to work in the future. So they're starting young. They want school districts and school foundations like ours to partner with them, bring experiences to both middle schoolers and high schoolers to learn more about coding, cybersecurity, and all that sort of thing. So they are partnering with us. They send volunteers and they coach our teams. And we have several projects this year after the pilot one last year to work on cyber coding.
And the Torrance Education Foundation has many other initiatives besides this grant program. If you can tell me, the viewers, a little bit more about that.
Well, we fund things in sort of three different ways. First is to partner with individual schools and individual students and families to raise funds in a community effort. We just had a partnership with SKECHERS Foundation, which mounts a walk, a fundraising walk every fall to support education and the school districts. And throughout the district in Torrance, we had more than 2,000 members sign up to walk with us on October 23rd and raise funds that way. We also annually have a Lexus car drawing in the spring, and those funds that are raised also come back to support the individual schools that went out and helped us sell the tickets. So kids can get sort of the idea of how you go about reaching out to your community and your family and your friends to bring funds in to support something that's important to you and your education. But we also do, we also have partnerships with many of the corporations in the community. We have a broad array of scholarships every year that we provide to graduating seniors. Some of them are corporate scholarships, and some of them are in the name and the memory of people who have been important in our community, like our founding president, Jean Drevno, and also Jim Armstrong, whose name will not be unknown to your viewers, I'm sure.
And there are many future goals and projects that are lined up, and one of the projects that really stuck out to me is funding for the 17 schools to get these special computer labs.
Yes, that's right.
And there's 17 elementary schools.
That's exactly right. I think your viewers will know we had bond issues in recent years to raise funds for construction of different kinds on the campuses around Torrance Unified. One of those focuses was on bringing science education in an experimental framework to our elementary schools, which is something very new in the way science education takes place at the elementary level. So there are already 4 labs, classroom labs, on 4 of our campuses under construction right now. And the bond funds are paying for that construction, the preparation of the site and the actual construction of the building. But the bond funds don't include the equipment. So the foundation is going to be raising funds from our corporate partners and the community at large to be sure that all these labs also have the equipment and the materials inside that kids can actually use to do experiments and learn more about science.
And tell me a little bit more about the scholarships. I know you just mentioned it, but there are specific scholarships for the high schools.
Yes, we provide scholarship support at all 5 of our high schools. As I said, many of them are in partnerships with local businesses that we provide based on criteria, sometimes that the business themselves identify. And then we also raise funds from the community at large. So last year, I think our total grant in scholarships was $68,000. And this year it'll be something almost that close. Yeah.
And for the past 5 years, the Torrance Education Foundation has raised nearly $2 million for the district. I mean, that's such a big accomplishment.
It sounds like a big number. The needs are greater, of course, but yes, we've been focused on meeting the needs that the district identifies as its highest priorities. One of the things that we did several years ago now, but it was a very high priority at the time because we were in the midst of the recession, was to provide the funding to install the district's first district-wide Wi-Fi system. I think everybody sort of expects Wi-Fi to be ubiquitous these days. You expect to have free Wi-Fi anywhere, but that was something that our district had not been able to budget for during the recession, but it was needed. Students need to be able to connect to Wi-Fi when they're on campus and doing their homework and studying and looking things up. So the foundation raised the funds and provided that grant to install what is now the beginning of a core system of Wi-Fi service throughout the district.
And the list goes on. There's so many more projects. And how can people play a role in making the future brighter for our younger generations?
Well, of course, we invite everyone to consider becoming a member. Membership at any level is a help, and we are very much encouraged to have members of our community join us and help us raise funds to support. We also have fundraising events. I spoke about the SKECHERS Walk, and I spoke about our car drawing, which comes up in the spring. We have an annual dinner that's a lot of fun, so you can help raise funds for students while having a good time yourself. And this year, for the first time, we are actually holding a New Year's Eve party. We'll be selling that very shortly. It's available on our website at www.torranceeducationfoundation.org. And we invite anybody in Torrance who wants to come out and have a rip-snorting evening with us on New Year's Eve in the penthouse at the Doubletree and to join us.
And TorranceEducationFoundation.org is a great contact resource where people can also get more information on how to donate and also become a member.
Yes. And find us on Facebook.
Yes, and like on Facebook, right?
Absolutely, like us. We're likable.
Thank you so much for joining me, Susan. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
If anyone is interested in donating or joining the Torrance Education Foundation, you can head to torranceeducationfoundation.org or give them a ring at 310-320-7232. And that does it for NewsBreak Live. Torrance City Council is back tonight, so make sure to tune in right here at 7 p.m. If you have news or video that you'd like to share, please email us at newsbreak@torranceca.gov. And for Facebook and Twitter users, use #NewsBreakLive. We'll see you next time. Have a good night.